Hello, welcome back to Star Wars Minute. It's the daily podcast where we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate the Star Wars movies 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
I'm Alex Robinson from AlexRobinson.fun.
Josh Flanagan of the iFanboy Comic Book Podcast. 18 years.
Wow.
And counting.
That's a long
We're
time.
heading into our 900th episode, not counting the ancillaries.
Wow. Congratulations.
I can't stop. Even if I wanted to. I don't even know what that feels like. It must go on.
Yeah.
You know what that's like.
Yeah.
Don't know what you mean.
Podcast?
This is a
Is that like one of
joy.
those internet radio shows?
Yes.
At least we don't have to say that anymore, right? That's a fun thing about the way that the world has gone. We don't have to explain what a podcast is to most people nowadays.
I'm so glad that Serial came along many years after we started and started podcasting.
Right. Yeah.
It was so nice of them to invent the thing that I had been doing full time. For a
That's
while.
the one bond all podcasters have is the resentment of Serial.
It's a very good show. We need more long form reportage. Anyway.
Yes. Here's a good show, hopefully. Minute 114 of Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. 114, it starts with Sheev doing some basic addition, and it ends with Poe apologizing.
Apologizing.
It's a heck of a freeze frame of her, of Rey, as it starts just in her
Yeah.
She's really acting. She's giving it her all there for that take. That's going to hurt afterwards.
She's had
Just
to
wanna
do
give
that
her
a
that
few
respect.
times, Daisy Ridley. She's had to act tortured and tormented several times throughout the film. I wonder if when she auditioned, they're like, okay, let's see your I'm being mind probed by the Force and I'm trying to resist face, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I also wonder with the pilots, do you think when you audition to play a pilot, they put you in a thing and shake you around to see how you
hold
There's
up?
That's all
Absolutely.
you do. That's all you do as a pilot is just,
If they don't,
they should.
then it's a huge oversight, because that's the thing. You can say some lines or whatever, but what's it like when you're getting shook around in the box?
What if they take
Like,
all the
they're-
potential pilots and they put them on like Space Mountain or something, and then they go back and they look through the photos from the cameras and they're like, oh, no.
They must have cast somebody at some point, and they put him in the box and shook him around, and I'm like, this guy, he can't do it. Like, it just,
Well,
we had no idea.
He's not a cockpit actor.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're gonna. I don't know exactly how it went down, but we're gonna reacquaint ourselves with somebody who I think was replaced for the cockpit acting. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see.
Yeah,
All right.
That's very true.
But today's minute is he sucking their energy out here again. This is like this wizard stuff. That I like.
One of my last notes on the last minute that we didn't cover was this. I said is this guy Voldemort?
Yeah.
Was Voldemort like this guy? It's very Voldemort here.
Yeah.
And then this whole thing just continues that, like, sucking the energy out of it.
To me, this seemed like at this point now, Sheev has moved on to his third plan, which is now I don't need to transmit into your body because I can just drain the energy. Because he says the power of 2 restores the 1, which makes it sound like basically he's going to turn his body back into strapping young Rob Halford, Palpatine.
I think this is all a shell game. Like, he has
Star Wars?
idea. Like Palpatine's thing. Like, he has no idea what he's talking, because he's always like, dyad. And you just made that up. He's just running game constantly. That's the secret of his power, because he keeps changing the rules, but to his credit, when she sent the thing through the Force dimensional portal, he'd never seen that, but he had to play it cool. He's like,
of course, yes, just like they used to do a long time ago.
It's the power of 2 is what it is.
It was I who made you a dyad.
Every thought you had was me, which covers him. Like, he's
totally.
Including
good.
this and that and this just now, what I just said.
I like how Sheev's feet are dangling.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
his little feet are like, man. It's because it's so.
It's like a ventriloquist dummy.
It's so, like, he's just not. He's not imposing. Like you back up and show the shot. He's like, don't show me the wide shot. It's not good.
What if he has on little like hospital socks or something, and they're like
swing around?
Mm-hmm.
Or
I hope never to see what his feet look like if his hands are any indication. I do not. I'm out.
How do you think that thing is like holding him? Is it like a harness? Is it literally like attached to his back, like, you know, part of his spine, or what's going on there? Not that I expect you guys to know the answer, but
I think so. I think it's probably like holding him under the arms and also attached to his spine.
So he's permanently attached. It's like his.
Does he?
This is his position he's in. He's always just hanging from this thing.
See,
or can he like detach himself and walk around?
I thought it was like,
just like fly off of it, like detach and like scoot around.
Like while he's still in the like coming back, like his body's still or I guess it's keeping him alive because he needs to be in a new. I was so it's like a life support system, but he was like, this has to move around. I can't, still go okay. And the Ugnaughts like bought the kit and did the whole thing. Is there a way to do this with my feet dangling? And they were like, oh.
I do want to see this as played for comedy, though. That would be, speaking of all this, like use. I think you brought up Arrested Development in terms of the different actors, like that style of like have him like trying to spin the thing around in mid sentence because he's
right.
Just play like a very dry one camera comedy kind of this whole turn this whole thing into a funny bit.
And a pie drops out of the road.
Well, yeah, the pie.
It's like, but where did the pie come from? It's very funny.
So I've already said I wanted to be a musical, a pie fight, or like a one camera sitcom. So we're I'm grasping at what could make this better. Pretty much everything. I don't like this part of the movie because it's exactly what I don't like about stuff.
One thing I do like, they took the time to CGI when he's just sucking the force out of them, and you see his eyes like light up. I thought that was a cool little effect.
And the yellow, which sort of like it immediately puts you in, that if you're our age, that Return of the Jedi, those yellow eyes, and it puts you right back there. And it helps because he was terrifying and impressive at that point before there were 1,000 jokes about him or whatever. But it does give you that little recognition of that moment.
This is going to sound ridiculous because I'm talking about a clone of a space wizard, but it looks fake to me. I don't like the CGI there where it's just like bloom, and all of a sudden it looks like weird. It looks, looks computer generated to me. And while I like the idea of it that he would be kind of going, but he was restoring himself to be that guy that we knew. Yeah. I don't like the way it looks here.
I gotta say, in 1983, I don't know that it looked all that real. I mean, it was fake, but in a different rubbery kind of way.
Yeah.
Than here. But again, that's a preference.
I thought his eyes turning yellow were like he was charging, because now that he's draining the life force from his eyes turned green when he was gone.
He's Colin Robinson. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, no relation.
I like that. I like that they found a way to make him more grotesque.
Right.
Like he's really far along grotesque. Yeah.
I like also that he's laughing as he's doing this. Palpatine has always been the most jolly character we see him probably laughing almost more than anyone in all the movies.
Oh yeah. I don't think it's even close. Who else laughs? Jabba.
Salacious Crumb.
Oh yeah.
Salacious Crumb is the next closest one.
Yeah.
Oh, like per screen
Yoda
time,
laughs.
Percentage? Yodel?
Yeah.
For a second I thought you were like, when you said Yoda laughs, I was like, Yaddle laughs, but like you said Yoda laughs, and that makes more sense.
Yoda laughs a couple of times throughout the.
I mean, like, well, here's the question though: is Sheev? Does he just love it? Does he just loves it?
He loves his work,
or is this part of his show? Like he's got to show. Everything he says has got to be right. He's got to show him he doesn't care. It's water off his back.
Right.
There's definitely times.
I like to think that he's into it.
Because I think his
thing is hiring dudes who want to kill him. Like he's into some weird stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
Because if they can get
he has so many Craigslist ads.
It's like
Space Craigslist.
Yeah,
SpaceCraigslist.org.
Oh,
I think he is sincere because there's times where he's doing it and there's no one else around. Like in Revenge of the Sith, he's shooting lightning and hurling stuff around, and I don't recall anyone being there to see him other than Yoda, who's like on the receiving end of all this stuff. So I'm assuming he really does love it.
Is there?
But you mean like in the Senate chamber where there's just cameras flying around everywhere?
True.
But then why would he wouldn't release video of himself trying to kill Yoda by throwing
I
don't know things around.
Not to the not to the Republic, but to people in the right circles. That would be impressive. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's true. You're right.
I mean, he controls the media, so it's not.
That's true.
He. Is there a point? I'm trying to remember. Like, it must have been in Jedi though, where
no
like
point.
he gets his comeuppance in his face, like, huh? Like, I want that. Like, is there one of those? Because that's like that boss hog kind of thing.
Right.
Like, he realizes it. Like, he's not laughing when he goes down the energy well in Jedi.
Oh no,
that would be.
He should, because now he knows his plan is coming to fruition.
Right.
Just as it is going just as I have foreseen.
Like, what would have been a total baller move is that he's going like, did he want us to throw it down there?
Flipping the bird as he goes down the shaft.
You'll see. I wanted this.
I knew you were going to do that.
All according to my plan.
Like, if Luke Skywalker walked in and saw him here, like, on the big arm, he's like, I planned it exactly like this. You thought you had me, didn't you? Oh, I'm afraid you didn't. Wheel me over there.
Anything else about Palpatine and all my stuff? The rest of my stuff has to do with the space battle going on upstairs. So, anything else you guys want to say about Sheev? Is this your you have more Sheev? Oh no, you don't have any more.
I don't.
Oh,
this is all. I don't. I have no idea what happens to him. I assume he triumphs in the end.
Well, if his plan is any indication, that will probably is the outcome.
Yeah.
There is no plan.
That's the plan.
His plan. Exactly. You're getting
it until you make it.
I'm not faking it, though. I have this.
All right, well, let's go to space then. Space battle going on.
I don't have a lot of space battle other than this minute and a half. But I want to say that one thing I did like about this whole deal is the absolute scope of the ridiculous number of Star Destroyers and they really, like, they made it big. In a way that, like, when we saw Star Wars the first time, like, the one Star Destroyer was really impressive because it was big, and then it was a Super Star Destroyer, and then you see, in later movies, there's a couple of them, but here they were like, we're putting them all in, and I was like, I appreciate that.
At least it's not another Death Star. I mean, technically it kind of is because each one is a Death Star, but at least it's not a round thing they're trying to blow up through some.
I mean, that's the thing.
Shot.
The enemy of G.I. Joe is Cobra. The Death Star is the enemy in Star Wars. Like, it has to come back to that. I don't know that I lost that. that was a terrible analogy.
Well, you brought up G.I. Joe, so
I can normally get my way out of it. I'm pretty good at it. And right there, and I was like, we're out. And I think it's because I could see your faces, and I was like, uh-oh.
I feel, because, like, it got me thinking, like, would it have been more satisfying if they were just like, you know what, Death Star 3? Like, if they were just like, like, instead of, like, pretending that we're not a Death Star with, like, Starkiller Base and this, let's just call it Death Star. Yeah. Let's just straight up with the little, circle and everything, Death Star. Like, that would have been, I don't know, people might have complained, but it's better, I think, than pretending that it's not a Death Star.
Just
no matter what, people would complain.
Yeah, people would complain no matter what.
Just roll out a crap load of Death Stars. Like, you turn around the corner, which you never saw, these planet size. What?
Well, one thing we do see in this space battle is the tragic, untimely death of Temin Gingersnap Wexley. We see him get shot down. It sends Poe into an emotional spiral.
Now, what's up, Josh?
Did Snap have any kind of character at all? Really?
Not in the movies.
Is there any in the movie character? There's none. No. I mean, like he shows up every once in a while, and what I think is, oh, look, J.J. Abrams put his friend Greg Grunberg in here, like he does in every single movie he does. And that, in Star Wars, is a problem to me. Because, I mean, it gets worse as you get older and they get newer or whatever. Again, if you're our age, I think everybody's got their version of Star Wars, and as long as we admit it, accept yours, fine, whatever. But when, like, I mean, overall, when celebrities start showing up, when you recognize the people as different things, that's tough. But at least they're, oh, this is bad. I was about to say at least they're actors. Like, Greg Grunberg's an actor, but I can't think of anything he was in that he just wasn't a cameo or a small part in a J.J. Abrams thing.
Right.
I don't know him from anything else. That's what he is to me. And that's what I think about when he's on screen. So, like, he died, and I was like, I don't feel bad about this, because, like, the only reason I feel anything about it is because Poe is affected by it.
Right.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know to. It doesn't mean anything to me. And I mean, I'm sure there's people like, no, he's got a great character.
Do you think there are, much the same way there are some people who are partial to Wedge? Do you think there are people who are like, I like Snap, I like the cut of his jib, like he's their favorite kind?
Yes, you just pulled the rug out from under me entirely. But like, you know, like
I can't imagine it personally, but I guess statistically there must be some people.
There's a. I mean, when I do it, I don't want to reveal behind the curtain. There is a level of irony. You know, but I'm sure that I bet they're Snap Wexley fans. Like, he's great, and there's some reason that is real to them. I don't know. Like, it was somebody. Like, do you think there was anybody in the theater when they're watching this the first time that, oh,
no,
not Greg Grunberg. I mean, Snap. No. No way.
Yeah.
Do we know why it's called?
If you told me he had died in every movie, I would totally have believed.
Right, yeah.
If we saw him shot down in every film, I'd be like, yeah, I guess that's so.
Like, if Star Wars wasn't the way it is and he had a name, you wouldn't remember it. Like, that's a character. In any other movie, you wouldn't know that character's name, even if they said it 100 times.
Yeah.
Right.
Star Wars, though, you know all the names. That's the thing.
You know, we're teasing Greg Grunberg a lot, but he's done a bunch of stuff since this movie. He was in The Boys. He did a voice on The Simpsons. He was in The Fabelmans, that Steven Spielberg movie. Did you see that, Josh?
Yes, I enjoyed it. I remember.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what he did.
He was in Law & Order SUV, and this goes way back, but did you know he auditioned to play Fred Flintstone in Viva Rock Vegas?
I can see that.
Who was?
Yeah, no,
Fred
I mean, like,
Flintstone in
he's
Viva
a
Rock
working actor. And if like his buddy is J.J. Abrams and he's like, oh, I'll put you in this thing so you can keep working, do your thing. I have no problem with that. Really, my only thing is that it takes me out of it because I know that.
Yeah.
Yes, that, like, that's the thing. I have nothing against him. I don't care.
Why? Two things. One, who did play Fred Flintstone in Viva Rock Vegas?
I think an actor named Mark Addy, who was a British actor who was in The Full Monty. Okay. I think The Full Monty had come out, and that was his hot moment then of being like the heavy set actor guy.
That's
like Kevin James would have gotten it, you know, in a later generation. So
like, yeah, there was when we still were like, well, let's put British actors in here. That's a good move. And now that's like, well, they didn't even know who he is. Why would you do that? And by the way, it's a special kind of nerd to be an American person. And you say Mark Addy, and I go, oh, I didn't need you to explain who he was. As soon as you said it, I was like, I know what that is. I'm that nerd.
Kids, ask your parents.
My second question is, why is he called Snap? Do we know that?
That has to exist.
I was trying to look it up, and I don't want to get too involved in my phone on the episode, but
wasn't. I was thinking about Mark Addy again.
According to the Visual Dictionary, he is named Snapped because his pants are snap pants.
Really? No.
Like a snowsuit. No, I made that up.
Okay.
But
he was Robert Baratheon on Game of Thrones. That was the other thing he was.
Oh, that's Mark Addy? Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. There you go. He had a big beard on, but
right.
I knew there was another thing that more people. Anyway,
that makes sense.
You know what? I was so into Mark Addy there that I actually missed what the conversation turned into.
Why is he called Snap?
Why is he called Snap?
You must have the answer to hand.
I'm
You're not going to ask that question
scrolling
on the
through
show.
his page, and I don't know what. No, I am going to ask, I don't know.
I have some Snap Wexley stuff that I have for tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll save it then.
Yeah, I can't give it up now. It's not time. There's reveals involved.
All right.
Moving on then.
Split table snap.
My wish was granted. Listeners will recall last week I said, oh, you know what? I really miss when they would have the radio chatter when they were flying in these dogfights. And now we get a shot, which I loved, of you just, when Poe's getting all upset, oh my gosh, we're losing. And you see and hear all the pilots flying around and screaming and all scared and stuff like that. I thought that was a great moment. I would love if there was just a minute of that, of just hearing, you know what I mean? Just watching battle from far away. And
it goes real quiet. You only hear that. It's creepy. That was my note, is that the radio chatter is really like creepy and sad. And it's a very emotionally effective little bit they do there, for sure. Because it also it's just like like there's real things, you know. I'm thinking of Pearl Harbor now. That might be too far.
The movie.
Yeah, I mean, just Ben Affleck
or the planet.
He was so hot.
Hot enough to be a dyad.
We got a lot of mail yesterday about that.
Him and Josh Hartnett turned out they were a dyad. A dyad of perfect teeth.
You guys remember that Josh Hartnett movie where he was like, I'm going to go 30 days without having sex? Like, it was the most incredible thing for a guy to go 30 days without doing it. Who could possibly last that long? Anyway.
I can't tell if, like, non-sex having nerds were laughing at it like you are, or they were angry. Like, they were like, we should be having way more sex, apparently.
Yeah.
I can't go 30 days without a Coke Zero. I don't think.
It's like no one involved in the production of the movie wanted to admit that was like. So everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that's crazy." I can't believe you would do that.
Yeah.
And there wasn't even one person who did. It just got so lost.
Yeah.
Like if any one person had even begun to speak up, the whole thing would have fallen apart. Like we got to wrap production.
Right.
Well, okay, what if it's like 45 days, though? That's hard.
So Poe apologizes to everyone for being a bad leader. He thought they could do it.
Sorry, everybody. I was wrong.
Bye.
Was he talking to himself, or did he have the open channel? That was my question about it. Is that little soliloquy for himself?
He's just
based on what happens tomorrow. I think it is an open channel. I think he is really talking to everybody.
That's some bad leadership there. Even if you're feeling that way, you should not be saying that into the radio. Right. We're all going to die, guys! Run for your lives!
And meanwhile, the audience is like, because of Snap?
Yeah.
What did that guy even do? I mean, right. That's not helpful at all. But also, the attitude on this guy, thinking it's his fault. There's thousands of people out there.
He's the leader, though, now. Yeah. After Leia died, he took over.
I mean, it is kind of his fault. His earlier, everybody's like, what do we do, General? Right. And he's like, just stay alive. We're like, that's not the best idea. That's not the best.
Snap totally just started.
We should have had some kind of, maybe like, don't all everybody come in through the same door like that.
Now you go. Yeah. Now you go. Now you go. This isn't working. I mean, we saw this guy in The Last Jedi. He's all balls, no strategy. You can't have that on its own. Yeah, I take it back. It was his fault.
See?
And he knows it. That's even worse.
He'll be charged for the War Crimes Tribunal afterwards.
It would have been so much worse if he's like, you guys are all screwing this up. I had a great plan.
Idiots.
This is your own fault. Snap.
Yikes.
I thought it was well acted. And I believed that character in that moment.
Do you like? You must have seen Oscar Isaac. I mean, you had to have seen every Marvel movie he was in and stuff. Do you like him generally?
His Marvel movies are terrible. I do like him very much, but like he was Apocalypse and Moon Knight was just
not a fan.
I think I got through 1.5 of them and I was like, this is awful. I don't like Moon Knight in general. No, I really didn't. But he's great. Like he's a
solid.
He's got a lot of range.
Man.
He's got that. Yeah, and he's got that thing where he's like handsome and interesting, but not in a way that you're sort of used to. And I'm trying to think, like earlier on, he was in David Simon did a great story where he was like a city councilor in Yonkers.
A hero, man of the people, I think.
Yeah, that kind of thing. I know, crazy. It was the very violent year, something like, I don't know. It's like he's got a lot of range in the Coen Brothers movie. Yeah, no, I like him a lot. I would, if he's in a movie, it makes me more likely to want to see that movie. I think I would say that much about him. And I was gonna say I like him in this movie, but I was like, actually, I don't know. Like, I don't not like him, but I think there's.
He's not doing a bad job.
I don't dislike the actors.
Yeah,
it's not their fault. It's
Yes, yeah. I think maybe the character of Poe Dameron is actually lacking, where they're just like, no, he's dashing. I was like, is that enough?
See, I think that is. I don't think every character has to have a hero's journey where they go from this to, like, some characters are just kind of like, I'm Fonzie. I'm the cool guy here as a supporting character for the main people. Not everyone has to be.
But is he?
Lazy?
Izzy. No, Izzy.
From Guns N' Roses?
Wait,
so you want Izzy and Fonzie in this battle?
I do. Yeah.
That's what they should have had when he was apologizing. He should have said, I'm sorry. If you guys remember, that was Fonzie's bit, is that he couldn't apologize to people.
That's
I am old, okay?
That's a funny joke.
Thank you. That's
you didn't write it. You just remembered it.
And then instead of the ship that he's in, he could have flown an A-wing.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
See?
Let's go back to Pi Dameron.
That is, now that I'm making a terrible Happy Days joke, that's all we're talking about, right? We each have some things for tomorrow.
I hope.
So maybe we should all come back tomorrow, if that's okay with everybody here.
We shall.
I'm in.
In the meantime, what's another thing that we can talk about? Hey, look at that. If you're watching this on YouTube, look behind Alex. See that tapestry there? It's upside down, but it's there. That is a little pixelated collection of characters done by one Mr. Alex Robinson. And it's available at our store, StarWarsMinute.com/merch. You can get that on a mug or a skateboard or a bath mat or whatever you got going on there. And many other designs there. Go check it out. Lots of fun stuff. And it supports the show. So go do that. Meet you back here tomorrow. Brand new episode.
Star Wars Minute.
Yes.